I hope that you all feel really good after this class. Last minute requests? Okay, come on back with me, yogis. I'm so happy to see you. And if it's our first time working together, welcome. My name is Tiffany. I love to see you on Fridays. It's the best way to kick off the rest of your afternoon and a wonderful weekend. Please join me on your mat. We are going to begin today in a standing position. I'm just gonna set my little clock up. And when you're ready, we're standing in a mountain pose position. So I would like you to please stand as tall as you can. Feel open left to right as much as you feel lengthening. Take a big roll of your shoulders back and down, and then set your feet firmly into the earth so they're just outside your hips with slightly soft knees and inward rotation of your thigh bones, drawing in of your navel towards your spine and palms forward, very actively open through your fingertips. Let's tuck our chins so they're about parallel to the earth, lengthening the back of our necks, and pull the crowns of our heads away from our heels. Lift all 10 of your toes and see if you can give them a little wiggle. Are you able to press them back down, starting with your pinky toes, like you're playing a piano and going right down the line? See if you can press them back. Lift all 10 toes again. Start with your big toes. Try to press down. That's the hard part. They often land at once. That's okay. We're becoming present. Arms rise. Eyes follow fingertips. Stretch open through the front body. Clasp hands behind your low back. Right thumb is on top. Stretch knuckles behind you. Wrap your knuckles around the left side of your body. If you can. If they don't make it that far, that's okay. Wrap as much as possible. Drop your left ear to left shoulder. Stay here for a moment. We may feel a combing sensation through the right side of our neck, over our right shoulder. Let's take a big breath in. Tuck your chin down towards your left collarbone. Feel that stretch moving down towards the back of your neck now. Soften your knees, wiggly in your toes, liberate them. Back up through the center with your eyes. Stretch arms behind you, reach to the sky again. Hold your right wrist and tip over to the left side, but come right back up. Try that again. Reach, release. One more round and then stay where it feels good. You may be tipped directly off to the side, or it could feel good for you to stretch forward and over. Finding everything that works for you today, including your speed, the amount of time you stay in each posture. I encourage you to linger if it feels really good. To the center we go. Big breath in. Hands clasped behind low back. Left thumb on top this time. Stretch long behind you. Wrap around the right side or as far as you can make it. Soften your knees. Let your right ear fall towards your right shoulder. Let's make sure we're still tall. So we're not going to tip our whole body yet. Just our ears. Soften through your facial features while you breathe into the left side of your neck. Tuck chin down towards right collarbone. Let's take a few open mouth exhalations in the beginning of class to get stale, stagnant energy cleared out. Eyes back through the center. Arms release and rise. Tip over to the right. You can hold your left wrist, or maybe it feels better for you not to. Re-rise. We're going to take a few rounds to practice lengthening. And notice if it feels longer if you press your left heel down and try to stretch away from it. Stay next time you arrive. Open your body. So this is yogi's choice. Do you want to look up? Look down? Would it feel good to reach over? Notice how the weight is shifting and changing in the soles of your feet, waking up your feet. Inhale, come back to center. Hands fall over your heart. You have arrived. Take a big breath in to potentially set an intention for your practice. One that I encourage is I will move with a breath-centered focus. Breathe, then move throughout the entire class. Another one that's great is I will be present in my body for this entire practice. Breathe into it, yogis. Inhale, rise. Come down through the midline. Hands fall through heart center, and then take fingertips to floor for a little dive between your big toes. Forward fold. From your forward fold, slide fingertips up your shins, halfway lift. And then release right back down. Forward fold. Bend your knees as much as you need in every fold. Listen to your hamstrings. Inhale, halfway lift. Forward fold. One more round just like that. Breathe in. Breathe out and stay in your fold this time. Taking a long lunge back with your right leg. But are you able to pull your heel to your butt? Slowly step back and purposefully land. Knee, shin, and top of right foot. Release. We climb up to our left thigh. Lengthen out. Find 2 90-degree bends in your knees. Start to scoot your tailbone under your body so your right hip flexor pushes forward. Rise up through the arms. Keep manipulating your hip here. Tuck your tail under. Scoop your right hip forward. A big breath in. Exhale, release fingertips to floor. Shift hips back towards your right toes, half split. Notice that we can lift the left toes or keep them plugged to the earth. Do what feels best for you. Come back forward. Perhaps you like to crawl the fingers forward. Lift your chest. Crawl the fingers back, half split. We're going twice more. Do you want to lift your arms? We can rise. Let your hips get really melty and soft here if you can. Reach back. Try one more time like that. Big breath in. IVs may follow fingers if they're rising. Release back and hold your half split. Let's consider squeezing the navel up towards the spine. Give it a little kiss. And then draw inner thighs together. Walk your fingertips outside your left leg. Keep flexing in your left foot. If you notice your toes poking inwards or out, that means we're not squared in our hips. So we'll come back to center, flex left foot strong, and then retwist if it's available to us. Big breath in, lengthen your heart forward. Come back to center, crawl back into your lunge and step forward. Elevate your back knee. Give it a second to adjust. That was a long time kneeling. Good job. Step forward, take a fold. Halfway lift on an inhale. Exhale, sink your knees down. Bend your buns back. So we're pushing knees behind the big toes. I can look down and see my big toes in this chair. Arms rise skywards in some way. Upper body elevates, what we say in our chair, goalpost arms. Let's take a few circular rotations with our shoulders here. If this is too tight for you, your shoulders are cranky, fingertips to your shoulder heads. Switch direction. If you'd like it to be bigger, keep the arms straight. I'm gonna go right in the middle here. Feels good. All the way to standing. Big breath in, palms press, eyes follow fingers. Draw down through heart center and do that little tiny dive right to the floor. Halfway lift, inhale. Exhale, release. Left heel to butt yogis. Let's land so soft that there's no noise. We're using our muscles. Left leg, long lunge back, soft tap down. Knee, shin, and top of foot relax. Climb to your right thigh. Draw back to 90-degree knees. And let's think about lengthening from the left knee up through the body. Tuck your tail a little bit to guide, to offer some more support, scooting left hip flexor forward. Feel that? Stretch up long. Continue breathing in, make it as long as possible, and then float fingertips down when it's ready to exhale. Shift your hips back to left heel, right toes rise or not. Maybe we crawl forward, feeling low and heavy in our hips to begin. Shift back, half split. Come forward. And if low feels very uncomfortable, find some sort of props that you can use. If you have yoga blocks or if you have textbooks, big textbooks of equal size, you can use those and walk them along the floor. We have 2 more. Checking in with our right toes as we guide ourselves back to make sure they're squared towards the right hip flexor. Finding your low lunge again. Release the fingertips, chest and heart are forward. Back knee rises. Give it a second. You might want to wiggle it a little bit or shimmy yourself out. Step into forward fold. Take a deep release. Knees bend as much as you need. Inhale, rise to sky. Rolling if that feels good. Stretching up and overhead. And find your chair pose again. We're lowering elbows. Scooting elbows forward and fingertips back. Let me show you that from the side. So sometimes we have fingers forward, right? We want to keep our elbows forward and our fingers back if it's available to you, to help you scoop your shoulder blades under your heart and lift your heart skyward. Let the universe kiss it. Feels good. Bring hands together, press palms, angry cat back, elbows dip towards the belly. Inhale, open. Remember, elbows in front. Exhale, close. If you feel a little bit unbalanced, widen your feet open here. Exhale. From this angry cat back, find the floor, forward fold, and your right leg steps back again. Let's take a really low lunge in our hips, get as low as possible, and we're beginning some twisting. So we want to squeeze that right hip point forward, lengthening from shoulder through toes on the right side. Left arm rises, a big twist. Stay as light as possible on your right fingertips. Drop left arm, and then turn to the right side to spin a little 180. Right around to the right lunge. This is gonna be fun. We're lowering our hips. Now find length, proud chest, shoulder to toes, long and active. Right arm rises, light fingertips stay. Left fingertips stay light, squeeze inner thighs. Right arm falls with your breath, yogis. Turn to the left, big 180 spin. Inhale, left arm rises. Exhale, left arm falls, spin around. You're welcome to kneel every lunge today if it feels good for you. Let's really work on squeezing our hips together. Inner thighs come towards one another to support us as we twist here. We're gonna go for one more full breath cycle. You do as many as that feels good for you. And when you get back to your left foot being forward, let's stay there in that lunge. Take your time, yogis, no rush. Finish up your breath cycle. Press back to downward facing dog. If it's tough to find that, go to table and then lift your hips. Otherwise, try to shoot right on back. And let's take a wiggle. This is our first dog. Move a little bit through your hips. Let them sway side to side. Look out under your armpits. Do what feels really good for your body here. And then when you're ready, your left leg comes towards your nose. Flex your foot and cross your ankle over your right thigh. Very big bend in your right knee for downward facing dog, figure 4. Are you able to walk your fingertips back towards your right toes? Straighten up your right leg and then rebend your right leg. Great time to get your props to build the floor up. Straighten and rebend. Inhale and exhale. One more round like this. Right leg lifting and lowering. Once it's lowered, walk back out. Use that little shelf to keep your connection in downward facing dog, figure 4. Push back. Deeply bend your right knee. Left knee pulls towards your chest. Press back, downward facing dog. Well done, yogis. Right leg. Take a crunch towards your nose. Flex your foot. Cross it over the left thigh. Bend deeply into your left knee so your foot doesn't slip off the shelf. Down dog, figure 4. Walking fingertips back to forward fold. Try to hold that figure 4 if you can. And then we straighten our left leg, belly in. Rebend. Inhale. Exhale. Twice more like this. This is tough on the glute, isn't it? Very big stretch and strengthener for the right glute. Inhale. Exhale. Whenever you get back to rebend, begin to walk your fingertips all the way out. Downward facing dog, figure 4. Big bend in your left knee. Crunch right knee back to nose. Release downward facing dog. Let's roll through a vinyasa. Inhale, plank position. Use your knees on round 1, yogis. Let the tops of your feet fall and pull your heart forward. Bend elbows slowly. They hug your ribs as you lower into the earth. Pull your upper body towards the sky by hovering hands, squeezing elbows, and pressing toenails down. We want to use all of our connections into the earth to plug in and help us boost up. From toes to knees, if they're connected, to hip points to ribs. One more big breath. Send arms out through the sides really wide as you squeeze to exhale. Release at the bottom of that breath. Press back to child's pose. Take a big break here. Choose whether your knees are closed or wide. Maybe try both and see what feels the most supportive. Both hands walk to the right. Left hand lands on top of the right. And are you able to separate your elbows so your head can fall in between your arms? If so, we're really going to pull our left hips back here so we can feel a stretch and an opening on the left side body. Relift your head, slide your hands over to the left side. Right hand will attempt to cover the left, and then open your elbows a tad so you can scoot your ears down between your elbows. Try to press your hips to the right, yogis. Feel that smile shape coming into your right side body. Breathe into it as if you had gills there. Full exhalation. Come on back forward. And as you extend your arms, roll at the tabletop, stacking joints. Knees under hips, hands under shoulders. Exhale, round your back, angry cat. Really try to look up at your belly. Eye gaze and tail find the sky. Shoulders pull back from ears as belly drops for cow. Let's roll it with your breath. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. Integrate some movement in your body. Let's try to push the fingertips forward as we find the angry cat. And then pull heels of hands towards knees as we find cow. Twice more. I like to tuck my toes too. That'll give you a little more. Pull hands back. One more round, yogis. Exhale. Inhale. Oh boy, now we're starting to feel good, aren't we? From our cow shape, tuck toes, lift hips, rise to dog, push back. Big breath in, lifting your heels, and then look forward to take a giant step outside your right pinky finger. Step forward, left foot does the same. Step forward, wide leg forward fold. It's okay if you stepped off your mat. Drop your hips a little bit, look towards me, and if it feels good, keep dropping, 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 yogi squat. You may need to stay high, depending on how tight your hips are and how your knees feel. Low is good. High is good. Listening to your body is best. Pull pelvic floor up and in. Good, and if you're here with palms, try to tent your fingertips. Get a little bigger stretch, but keep pulling pelvic floor up and in. Nicely done. Spike down through your heels. Take a big in breath. Exhale, rise to standing. Arms up and overhead. Let's try that once more. Yogi squat, every height is a good height. Listen to yourself. Beautiful. Find it, breathe in. Exhale, spike your heels down. Rise. Twice more, but we're gonna change the elevation. So we're sinking down. And then we're gonna turn our toes forward to roll this time. Hinge back to that forward fold and roll to find the sky. Oh, that feels a little bit better for me. See which one you like the best. Sink. Toes may need to turn back out here so that they're just under our knees. Knees fall about midline of feet. Then I like to turn mine forward for the fold. Rolling to rise. Seeing if you can pinpoint any tight spots on your spine. Linger if you do. Give them a little roll, a little love and some TLC. Arms elevated. Beautiful job, yogis. Step, toe, heel, or hop your feet together. And then let's take a huge open arm exhalation to find the floor. Forward fold. Inhale, please. Halfway lift. Release. Right leg takes a long lunge back. Once you arrive, turn your left toes out to the left side. Make sure your heel is under your knee. So you may have to walk your foot back. As you're finding that, roll to the blade edge of your right foot and elevate the left arm. Stay here, modified side plank, or attempt to lower your hips. Reaching towards your right foot, the inner arch there. Intense side body stretch. You're feeling it down into your outer right thigh possibly too. One more big breath. Exhale, roll all 10 toes back forward. Press back to downward facing dog. Inhale, roll forward, lift from your heels. Begin to roll through an angry cat back to find your plank position. Exhale, bend elbows, chaturanga, knees down or not. Find the floor. Send arms wide, just like we finished our last one. Turn your thumbs up and elevate your upper body. A little baby back bend. Press toes away from hip points. Open your toes so they're energized. And then squeeze up through your back body. Take a big breath in, full locust here, yogis. Exhale, release to the floor, press back, child's pose. Let's roll through 2 cat-cows. Exhale, coming forward, realigning your joints, hands under shoulders, knees under hips. Make it a rolling version of this. So maybe we press out through the side ribs to come into cat and roll down through cow. Tuck toes, downward facing dog. One full breath in your downward facing dog. Exhale, release a bit more deeply, pressing through palms to guide chest back to thighs. Right leg rises, inhale. Look forward and crunch your knee towards your nose. Try to step between your thumbs. If you get stuck like me, grab your ankle, help it through. Once you've arrived, turn your right toes out. So can you see how I have a little bit of a diagonal in my joints? That's no good. We really want to fix that. Bring your foot to your heel directly under your knee. Roll the blade edge of left foot as your right arm rises. Modified side plank or lower your hips with me. Reaching towards your left inner arch. Intense left side stretch. Can you breathe through it? Your body's smiling. Do you see that? Can you smile through it? Come on back to the sky. Make a big circle on down. Turn all 10 toes forward and step into forward fold. Great job, my friends. Do you want to roll or would you like to hinge to rise? Do what feels good for you. Moving fluidly, a big inhalation to get to the sky. Inhale all the way up. Exhale down. Do you want to pass through heart center or spread arms wide? Yogi's choice every step of the way today. Release. Your left leg takes a long lunge back to begin. And we turn that lunge into a warrior one. Spin your toes out about 15 degrees. Blade edge of foot is down. And then widen your feet left to right so we can swivel our hips. Try to climb to your right thigh. Notice how my hips are off on the diagonal. I want them to come as far forward as my body's comfortably doing. So I'm going to widen my feet even more left to right. Then I feel, oh, there it is. Try that with yourself. Widening from center to side can really help you swivel. Clasping hands behind your low back. Take a big open chest stretch. Now I want you to bend into your right knee so you feel this lengthening happen. If I'm up here, not really getting as much in my left front of hip. Bend. Ooh. Feel the inseam energize through the left leg. One more big breath, opening your chest. Attempt to keep your ribs facing down and your belly in so your low back is happy here. Reach arms up and overhead and clasp all fingers except for your pointers. Extend them to the sky, softening your shoulders. Let's reach forward and load this warrior one all the way forward now. Scrape fingernails along the ground if you can to circle back towards left toes. Up to the sky, around forward again, and then keep on going. Breathing in and out as you circle through warrior one. Breathe in. Breathe out. One more round, yogis. Big challenge ahead. Remember that you are strong. Extend your body over your right thigh. Open just your arms. Keep your chest very proud, confidently lifted but low. Now rise up through your chest. Arms rise. You did it, yogis. Give yourself a high five overhead. Roll your left toes in, frame out your right foot, and push back to downward facing dog. If you need a break, take a table or a child's. Very strong. I'm very proud of you. Give yourself some freedom. Find organic movements in your downward facing dog. I like to shimmy my hips. I like to shake my shoulders. Definitely love to shake my head. Just shake tension away. Join me when you can. Let's roll forward into plank. Literally roll. Start with your heels, lift them. Tuck your tailbone down towards your heels a little as you roll lower back. Mid-back in between the shoulder blades, coming into our flat body plank. Lower elbows start to bend back towards toes. Body meshes with the earth, morphing into every move. Toes push away. Arms elevate to the sides, thumbs up, palms forward, shoulders really open and happy. Lift everything at once this time. Toes, knees, and thighs. Thumbs and back of your neck. If you're feeling crunchy in your low back, spread open more left to right between your legs. Find some spaciousness and breathe into that. Let's all exhale, release. Press back to downward facing dog. One full cycle of breath in and out here. Take time to recharge, yogis. We know what's coming. Left leg rises, big breath in. Take a moment to bend your heel towards your butt, and if that feels good, keep it, or open your knee to the side. Little challenge for you today. With your hip open, can you peek over your right shoulder, and look for your toes? And if you can, wave at yourself. Hey, use your left toes to wave at yourself, it's fun. Big circle, yogis, look at your left pinky finger. Circle your knee all the way around the corner. Step outside for a lizard lunge. That's just a fun way of saying wide lunge. Elevate back knee or keep it down. Now we get to work into our hips a little bit again. Bringing hand up towards the left thigh. Might feel good to stay elevated. I definitely feel like I can get a little deeper in my hips if I start here. And then if it's in your practice, come forward, meaning if it feels good for you, come forward. You can certainly lower even more. Another place I love to go is extended arms. So I'll reach way far out, like down dog arms, and then bow my head down. Some of you may enjoy coming to your forearms, or you may be on some sort of a prop to build your floor up. Keeping our knees in towards our shoulders, left knee in towards left shoulder, stay safe. And then let's breathe into the underside of our pelvis, in through our right hip flexor. Feel it stretching open. Movement. I always invite movement in. We don't have to stay stiff as boards. Feeling a little sway might feel opening. Be generous with your body. Be kind and ask it what it needs. That's nice. Alrighty. Linger if you'd love to. But otherwise, elevate your right knee. Let's try to make a big step right outside the right pinky finger. And then pause. Your yogi squat depth. Find it. Once you've arrived, pelvic floor up and in, your thumbs are at heart center to remind you, lift, be proud, be tall. See if you like this. Drop left shoulder inside, left knee. Left hand to the right ankle. Use your right fingertips to push away. Push away and open through your hips, stretching out into your low back. If you're up in a wide squat, can you do that? Not exactly, but you can definitely twist a little bit and push a little bit on your right knee. Take another big breath wherever you are. On your exhalation, eyes back down to the floor. Unwind slowly, fingertips down to help you turn toes forward. Wide leg forward fold, and let's find a beautiful way to rise. No two practices look alike. You could be rolling while someone else is hinging. Stand tall, step, toe heel, or boop, your feet together, and then find another forward fold. Alrighty, let's do it all on the other side, yogis. Right leg steps way far back. Swivel those toes, right toes face out about 15 degrees. And just climb up to your left leg and figure your hip situation out. Some of us will never be able to turn our hips forward. It's okay if you can't, but I want you to widen up. See if you can find some sort of right hip energy forward. Bend left knee. Feel super strong in the inseam. Lifted and energized on your right leg and micro bending right knee. Arms elevate. Clasp behind low back, left thumb on top, pressing knuckles down towards right heel while maintaining ribs down towards hips. Belly in strong, chest flaring open left to right. Okay, big breath in, find your strength. Arms rise, Pointer fingers extend to the ceiling, all other fingers are clasped. Next, inhalation, yogis. Let's stretch forward, belly over left thigh. Down, around, and rise. But keep going. Make these huge, beautiful circles with your body, attempting to reach as far forward, down, and back as your hips will allow. We're gonna go for one more big one. Breathe into it. Hold forward, rebend, left knee deeply. Send your pointer fingers past the end of your mat. Keep chest low, but simply open your arms left to right. Uplift your chest. Inhale, arms rise. Give yourself a high five overhead. Lift your right heel and allow your fingertips to fall inside your left toes. Wiggle your left foot out to the side so you're in a lizard lunge of your choosing. Would you like your right knee to fall? I always think that feels better. Do you want to try to climb up to start? Felt a little bit of opening, right? Your hips begin to surrender a little bit. No matter what, your right psoas, the front of your hip, is definitely lengthening. So breathe into that area. Send it down like those are your lungs for now. And then find a place that's comfy for you. You'll know you're comfy when you're able to fully, slowly breathe and your face isn't contorted. Relax your facial features. Come down a little lower if it feels nice, or consider stretching your palms out like downward facing dog arms. And wherever we're holding for our next breath, are you able to relax your jaw? Soften the corners of your eyes, unless they're smile lines. And if you're smiling like me, keep them. One more big breath in and out. When you're ready, yogi, step your right foot right on up and find a yogi squat. Any yogi squat that works. So if you're twisting and getting low with me, right shoulder is coming in. Right hand is holding on to the left ankle. And then left fingertips come inside the left knee. Press away here. We're gonna press so much that the right shoulder pushes into the right knee and we lean away from the left knee. If you're up high, I would recommend maybe coming to forearm, or you can just use your hands to press open. Find more width, left to right here. Staying for another big breath in. Full breath out. Eye gaze travels back to floor, toes turn in. Let's roll to rise. Take a huge lift, segmenting your spine. Feel each little compartment in your spine open. Maybe roll through a little bit, find some more liquidity in your spine, and then reach up and overhead. So if you're feeling a lot in your hips right now, that's normal. You can take your fingers and just kind of rub. Lots of hip stretches. Good job, yogis. Inhale, rise. Step up or toe heel feet together. Take another big inhalation. Lift your heels this time. And while you're standing in extended mountain pose, heels lifted, simply close your eyes. Whatever happens is fine. If you fell out, try to come back up. If you need to reopen your eyes to reorient yourself, that's okay. Take your time. Most importantly, be kind in your thoughts. Love your body no matter where your balances are today. Reopen your eyes, and congrats if your heels were still lifted, place them down softly. Create a little basket with your hands, interlacing fingers, and support your left knee. If you can't bring it to your chest, just lift as much as you can. Okay, tell yourself, I am balanced, I am strong. Close your eyes. If this feels very easy for you, open your arms side to side. Keep your knee lifted though. Keep breathing. Focus on drawing navel in towards spine. Energize fingers if they're open. Energize left toes, everyone. Reopen your eyes. Left hand to inner knee. Slowly slide it open. Can my toes be on the floor? Absolutely. And if I feel most confident, I can use a prop. even the wall or a couch or a chair if I feel a little nervous, but I want to practice closing my eyes. Once you've opened up your hip, reclose. Block out the stimulation. Take a moment. Beautiful job, my friends. Come back to center, open both arms, and connect in a tree pose. From toes to floor, all the way up to your inner thigh, wherever your quad can help you lift. Arms are rising up and overhead. Take a big, big breath. Find a willow tree. We're gonna tip over to the left side. Are you able to hold your right wrist? Do what feels good. It might feel better to stay open, but I want some feedback from your right thigh here. Squeeze in towards your left foot. Take another big breath in. Exhale, rise, stay in tree. I know it's wiggly, we're almost done now. This is one more. Left arm falls behind you. Right arm comes to the outside of your left thigh for tree pose, twist, and then try to look at your left fingers. You're welcome to wrap the left arm around your low back if that makes you feel like you could twist more expansively. Eyes to the floor if you've got a really bad case of the wobbles. Untwist, come back to me like we're about to embrace. Reach to me. Elevate your left knee again and replace. Whew, you gotta do that dance. Done, the balance on that side dance. Give it a little rub if your thigh is getting cranky. Well done. Rise through the arms, big breath in. Heels rise. Just like you're floating here, close your eyes for one breath, yogis. Attempt to unclasp your toes. Let them be liberated and free. Eyes open, heels melt back down. Create a little basket with your palms and hug into your right knee or lift it to the best of your ability. As soon as you've gotten squared away, your shoulders are relaxed, you've reminded yourself how strong you are, close your eyes. Reopen your eyes. You may need to regather yourself if you lost anything. Open up through the right knee. Left arm can come wherever it feels most balancing for you. I'm gonna try something new because I have a bad case of the wobbles, so I'll try a new spot for my arm. Close your eyes when you're ready. Reopen your eyes. Relift if you fell out. I can't even stand up with my eyes open. Well done, yogis. Find tree pose, arms rise. Connect your right foot somewhere, whether it be on the floor, ankle, calf, or thigh. Feedback from the left leg. Squeeze in, find breath. Pelvic floor up and in, navel in. Willow tree, both arms tip to the right. And there's always that possibility of holding left wrist. You want to breathe into the left side body, create beautiful space and lightness there. If you get the wobbles, I recommend looking down to refine your posture and then moving eyes off the floor forward or skywards when you're ready. Inhale, rise arms. Sweep right arm down and around the corner right behind you. Left fingers reach for right outer thigh. Spin your eyes. Once you're confident, yogi, spin your eyes to the right fingertips. Find full breaths in here. One more inhalation. Right back into the center. Can we celebrate together? Lift your right knee. Release. Oh, and maybe it's not your hip on that side. Could be your standing leg works extra hard. So give yourself a little knuckle, gently patting or tapping out any stress or tension. And when you're ready, let's re-rise. Big breath in. Okay, yogi squat again, but if you can, big toes stay together. Let's pass hands down through heart center. Begin to bend your knees forward, and if your knees are okay with this, split them open, side to side, big toes together. If you don't like this, just simply come to the floor in any way it feels good. We'll meet you there in a moment. From this yogi squat, reaching hips and buns back. As arms and chest come forward, we've got this. Sink the hips down. Have a seated bound angle. Soles of the feet together. Give yourself a little flutter through your knees. Just let them be kind of free for a moment. Lean back and create space as you're doing this. Feels good. And then allow your legs to just fall. If they feel unsupported, put blocks, pillows, blankets, or sweatshirts under them so they can ease into something soft. Scoot your flesh from under tail and sit bones out of the way. And let's take a little swivel here. Right arm reaches for your left knee. Help yourself sit really tall for your crown, like there's a beam of energy shooting to the sky. And then simply swivel eye gaze around left shoulder. Stay tall as you exhale, but use that breath out to allow yourself to deepen your twist. Inhale back to center. Come through the midline. And then switch arms. Right arm behind you. You can lift the left arm if that helps you. Left hand's gonna hold on to something, whether it be the right foot or the knee. And then take a huge breath in to lengthen again. Exhaling to swivel, eye gaze towards your right shoulder. This could be really nice for your low back. If you have pain and inflammation down there, I really encourage you to safely, gently twist. Belly in. Let's come back towards the center together. Separate your feet and bring them flat, and then allow both knees to fall to the left, yogis. All right, so we have these two about 90-degree knees. We're gonna lean back today. So we lean back as much as it feels good for us, and then we're twisting towards the right heel. You can lean back to your forearms, but just make sure your body likes this. It's gonna come into your outer and inner thigh on the right leg as we twist over towards the right foot. So I come back to both forearms. I'll show you from the side. And then I like to lift up through my left hand to help me twist a little bit deeper over towards the right heel. You can do this from your hands, get a little swivel, or you can fully land on both forearms. We're gonna go for one more slow breath in. I know it's a challenging posture, so try to slow down your breath. Fully breathing in through the front body. Exhaling all the way through the back body. And then rise back up. For a second, let's lean off to the left side. Give yourself some space where we just twisted and stretched. Right arm rises, and then allow yourself to just fall gently over your left knee. Coming down to forearms if you can, but turn them to face the sky. We love to face the sky here because it broadens our shoulders. Great job, my friends. Climb back up as long as you feel ready. Feel okay in that right hip? All right, let's switch to the right side. Knees fall to the right. But we're gonna focus on the left leg over here. So just get comfy. Flesh is out from under your tail or your sits bones. Sit tall. And we're going towards the left heel, so you can stay right here and just twist. But if it feels good, lean back a little bit, maybe a lot. You can come into bent elbows, forearms. So once I get down to forearms, as long as you're happy here and you're like, okay, my breath is flowing, I feel good, twist to the left, towards your left heel, and then possibly push out of my right arm when it's straight behind me. And it's giving me a little bit more of an ability to twist. Try to soften your facial features here. Sometimes we get into these crazy poses and we start to grip. If that happens, back off. Free everything up and start fresh. Back in towards the center if you've twisted big. And then push up to seated. Then I want to really slowly lean to the right. Right hand down, left arm lifts. Just trying to alleviate that tension on your left inner and outer thigh. Falling over the right knee. Twisting in the opposite direction feels pretty good now, doesn't it? Just take a moment to normalize everything, especially in your left low back where we had that big twist. In through your left hip flexor. When you've arrived and feeling pretty good again, let's lift ourselves up to seated. Feet come flat again. And And we're gonna go for one more awesome stretch. I love this one. We have more to come, but this is like such a great one. I've been looking forward to it. Right knee into chest, flex your foot, cross it over your left thigh, figure four, like we did earlier, but seated. Okay, goals. We want to feel good in the right glute and the outer thigh. So how do I make it feel better? Walk up to tall, really pressing chest towards the right calf. Press your right knee away from your chest. And then you decide how close you can scooch your buns towards your left heel. So if you're feeling so much intensity, way back here is going to be less intense for you. If you're not feeling too much, lift up really tall and scoot towards your left heel. We're trying to sit as tall as we possibly can. Breathe where we notice sensation, yogis. And if you'd like a little bit of fun in your figure four, we can roll our legs side to side. Oh yeah, that feels good, especially when you get to the left over here. Woo! Okay, breathe a couple more times. Do you think we can lift our hips here? I know we can. So let's try to find a little figure four bridge. Please really consider how your fingers are dialed out. It will really change how your shoulders and your elbows feel. So lift a tad bit, press, drive through left heel and palms, and then make sure your shoulders are happy. If they aren't, move them a new way. When you feel really good, lift up to your favorite spot, squeeze shoulder blades together. You're welcome to drop your head back onto that little cushion you've created. Right foot stays flexed, knee pulling towards the floor. One more big breath in. Exhale, release. If possible, get that foot off there. It might feel kind of stuck, so you can help it. Ooh, and then extend your legs. Give them a little tick-tock. Ah, that's so nice. And if it still feels a little tight in that right hip, remember, always work that out before we move on. Take a second to do a little karate moves down there. Switch when you're ready. Feet flat, knees to sky. Left knee to chest. Give yourself tons of space. Lean back, flex your foot, cross over. And we know the more compact we get, the more intense this posture is. The more we want to give ourselves space, the better it may feel for you. Decide where you are today. I definitely encourage visiting both spots. Don't just assume, because you never know where you need to be in this very moment. It's different from every other second you've ever practiced. You might like to roll your legs in that little tick-tock. Take another big breath in, paying attention to our shoulders being spread open left to right, our chest being very actively open, full of breath, receiving. And then if you'd like to join me, we're bringing the foot flat on the right side, fingers dial out to a comfy spot for our shoulders and our elbows as we rise to figure four bridge, or excuse me, figure four reverse tabletop. And if you don't like it like this, my friends, just drop both feet and find a regular reverse tabletop. Make a little pillow with your shoulder blades, squeeze them together, drop your head back. Chin tucks back to chest if you let it hang. Sit yourself down and then scoop your left leg off. Send legs out. You can lean way far back if your wrists are tired. And just let your legs go side to side, shaking out any tension in your left hip. If it needs a little massage, go for it. All right, let's get something fun on. Hug your right knee into your chest and let your knee fall open to the side. Now, we've done this one a bunch. So this is option, seated tree. Or we can bring our knee to our chest and allow the right foot to come behind us for half hero pose. If you decide to do this, I'll show you from the side, half hero, we're gonna lean off to the left and move our right calf meat up and out so that you can more deeply bend into your knee there. My toes are not what are requested by most yoga people. Most people like to have their toes tucked flat, but I do this because it bothers my knee the other way. So I will tell you that the yoga books will say top of foot down is safer for half hero here. Move a little bit of that calf meat out if you didn't yet. But if your knee says otherwise, find a great spot. No matter where you are, arms rise. Exhale, fold over your left leg. When you have gotten to a comfy spot, drop your chin to your chest. And if it feels okay, start to roll ears towards each shoulder. Make making these little semicircles with your neck. Rise out of your fold. Stay right up at the top and drop right ear to right shoulder, but this time peace fingers, index and middle of the right hand help you sit tall. And then stretch your left fingers out to the side. Maybe give them a wiggle, move the arm somewhere new. See if you've really found the best spot. Oh, that reach is like the cherry on top of the ice cream sundae. Feels so good. Okay, come back to center. Are you good? Big stretches might require a little palpation. Oh. Okay, so when everything feels good, we want to draw this right knee back into our chest, then straighten it. That's a little safer for the hip. Left knee in first. You know you have seated tree as an option. Or we may want to tuck that little left heel behind us. Experiment. Do you like that top of foot tucked down? Or do you like your toes turned out? I definitely recommend leaning to the right and pulling your calf on the left side up out so you can really deeply fold there. Like this leg for me feels fine. So you don't have to be symmetrical on both sides. Just do what feels good. Ready to breathe? Inhale, we go, yogis. Exhale, fold on forward. That doesn't have to be all the way. Everyone's practice looks different. Find somewhere that feels great for you. Experiment with pointing or flexing your right foot. How does it feel? Really good. Take another big breath in your fold. Full exhalation to rise and seated really tall on your ribs. Let's drop left ear to left shoulder, but use the peace fingers of your left hand. Sit up tall here through your spine. Gentle, gentle pressure with your left fingers. Right fingers come on out. Open your fingers. Find so much energy. Feel like you're combing tension out through the right side of your neck, and it's shooting off your fingertips over here. One more big breath in and out. Ever so slowly, drop left fingers, come back to center, hug your left knee into your chest, and extend your legs. My friends, it's 1:55 already, so I'm so happy to have seen some of you. If you have to go, take good care. Namaste and happy Friday. If you're staying with me, we're gonna come into a forward fold here. Press your heels out. Lift gently, gently lift the flesh on each of your buns and guide your sits bones back. Arms rise, and then place them right down next to your cheek on either side. So strongly press down. Activate toes back towards your hips. Sit as tall as you can. Next inhalation, reintegrate arms overhead with this beautifully long spine. And then fold forward. We're just gonna take a breath in and out here because we're moving on to crossed ankle forward folds. So at the bottom of that exhalation, roll right back to where you were. Refine that beautiful long spine, and then try left ankle over right, but definitely micro bend your knees here. Re-inhale, fully exhale. Try to pause here, tucking chin towards your chest. Separating bottom jaw from top and just loosening up on your facial features. Sweep fingers back under your shoulders to support yourself as you rise. Find that beautiful long spine. Help your legs if they feel a little stuck. We're gonna uncross and recross right now over left. Reach to the sky. Soften both knees as you come forward. Forward, forward as much as possible, and then down. Great time for an open mouth exhalation here. If you fall into your forearms, turn them up for this final breath. Face the sky, open your collarbones left to right. Support yourself to rise. Hands scoot under shoulders, upper body lifts. We help our legs up. And then how do you want to rise today? I've been challenging myself lately to try to come wide. Some people can even do it with their feet closed, but do you think you can come to standing from here? We've done it a bunch rolling back. That's hard, but easier than this. So you know you have that option where you would roll back. And you know you can also come to your side and just come, you know, around the corner, tabletop and rise, but I can try to get this one. So if you can, yogis, attempt with me. This is like the hardest thing I've ever tried to practice. Belly in, reach forward. I have to close my feet for that one. Press down through your heels and really fire up your quads to try to get back to forward fold. From your forward fold, my friends, bring the backs of your hands down. Final stretch for us today is a wrist stretch. Palms face the sky. And the backs of our hands are down to really bend deeply into the back of our wrists. Take a moment here to shake your head no. Shake your head yes. Yes, that your body is worthy of love. Yes, that your body is strong and stable, full of wisdom and powerful beyond measure. Bring fingertips down. Let's roll to the sky. Continue thinking yes to yourself today. Yes to continue your self-care. Inhale all the way up. Yes, your body is beautiful and balanced. Hands down through heart center. Eye gaze finds the fingertips in a simple sign of gratitude. Yes, your body is worthy. So trust your body, my friends. Love your body. And most importantly, thank your body. It's so beautiful, imperfectly perfect, and needs so much TLC. This step was the best thing you could do for yourself today. Continue with your breath work, your movement-based practices of any kind, and some meditation if you can throw it in. My light honors your divine light. It's blessed to be with and so grateful for. Shine bright. Have a beautiful, happy, and healthy weekend. Namaste, yogis.